All right, let's talk about self-sabotage. This exercise is going to have a lot of information, and I'm going to do some explaining, also questions as we go. And then you're going to have continuing exercises because self-sabotage is something that comes up often in life and repetitively. And so this isn't like a one and done thing. So have your notes out, your journal, whatever, take notes as we go, and refer back to what we go over today often. Self-sabotage is likely something that you've heard of. It's likely something that you're aware of that you do. And in my experience, at least as a coach, it's something that people really struggle to figure out why they do it. So that's what I want to start with going over. And first and foremost, realizing what self-sabotage is that it really is just a self-protection method, kind of. How it happens is because your mind, your subconscious, your ego, your body, your systems, everything is trying to keep you safe. It's trying to keep you comfortable. So that is actually one way that you can shift on how you even view self-sabotage. The other thing is that why it comes up or why you may act upon it is because it's trying to give you a sense of control. If you can decide, what you're going to do next, then that gives you this sense of control. It may be a false control. However, it allows you to kind of like write out the narrative, write out what's going to happen, predict the future in a sense. So it gives you control or a sense of control. Not really though, okay? Or I'll say it gives you control, but it may not lead you to a place that serves you or a place that you necessarily want. So one is really stopping viewing self-sabotage as this totally negative thing and using it as, oh my God, I'm self-sabotaging again. What the boop? All of these things that we tend to get really, really upset with. And just one, shifting to, oh, okay, that's just me trying to keep myself safe. It's just me trying to be in control of the situation, be in control of what would have been an unknown otherwise. That's it. It makes it less of a serious thing, right? And it makes it a lot easier to then change the direction forward. Why it happens is because of thought patterns, habits, the mindset that we're at or having, any limiting beliefs that we may have, and lack of awareness. We're going to dive deeper into that. Don't worry. Now, you need to want to change and to put in effort in order for self-sabotage not to actually continue, okay? There's always going to be self-sabotaging thoughts that come up and beliefs that come up, and how you stop those things from turning into actual actions, behaviors, is by being aware and believing that you can change and wanting to change and putting in the effort to do those things. Self-sabotage does not come out of nowhere, okay? It doesn't just happen because it wants to, all right? Someone, something, somewhere even can trigger it. What happens is, in reality, your self-control turns off and then your instant gratification turns on. There's a battling of your subconscious and your unconscious that kind of happen. And these things are really predictable. You can predict when you're going to self-sabotage when you start to notice the patterns, when you start to notice the triggers. So really getting curious and exploring, being present, being mindful, being accountable, and recognizing the why. These are all aspects that are going to greatly help you to predict when the self-sabotage thoughts come up and allow you to change that and allow you to, just stop actually self-sabotaging so much. The self-sabotage behaviors can be related to procrastination, perfectionism, any changes that you're making, lack of self-care, drains on time and energy, which can come from things like relationships or your job or anything else that that may not serve you. And I'm not saying that there's, all of the relationships, all of the job are things that don't serve you, but there are very likely, if there's sabotage coming up, there's aspects of them that you're allowing not to serve you. So start to become aware, where do you see this coming up for you, excuse me. Maybe press the pause button right now and write down some of the things that are coming up for you right now. When do you notice that you self-sabotage? Again, you're very likely aware that you do it, okay? So start to think about what are things that are present when I do self-sabotage. Do I procrastinate? Am I trying to be perfect? Is it when I start to make big changes in my life, in my nutrition, in my fitness, I start a new diet, when I'm not sleeping well, when I am putting work as the first thing, when I'm surrounding myself with people that are draining. Make a list of the things that you notice, and now you can become aware of any triggers, because that will give you direction on how to change those things. Okay, self-sabotage in relation to a fixed mindset. So we know that a fixed mindset is you believing certain things, like you not believing in yourself, you not believing that you can change, you believing that you're bad at something and you'll never get better at it, you believing that you are stuck where you are and there's no changing it. Where are your fixed mindsets coming up in your life? Where in your life do you have more of a growth mindset? Because growth mindset isn't this one all-encompassing thing. There can be growth mindset in this area, and there can be fixed mindset in this area coming up. So make note of where you do have growth mindset. Make note of where you're noticing fixed mindsets coming up, or even fixed mindset thoughts coming up. Even if you can move forward with growth, what are the fixed thoughts that can come up for you? And then how and where can you bring in more of that growth mindset to your life, to the areas where you're noticing fixed mindsets coming up? So again, you can press the pause here and go through these questions. Okay, self-sabotage in relation to all or nothing. Okay, like we said, self-sabotage is a pattern. It's a cycle. It's something that repeats itself. It's something that's predictable. So these are two big patterns that I see for people. One is the restriction cycle. This is very, very present when it comes to nutrition, sometimes with fitness, when you're wanting to work on improving your lifestyle related to these things, and what you've done in the past that maybe hasn't worked so well. This is how we're going to become aware of these things, so now you can break this repetitive cycle and start making some changes. And I'll go into this. So where we see this restriction cycle pop up, and I'm going to use nutrition specifically, is where you start in a restriction. I'm going to work on improving my diet, my lifestyle. So how are ways that you've done this in the past? You maybe cut out carbs, or you cut out sugar. You focus on taking foods away. And then, sure enough, at some point, you're going to have something that triggers you. It's usually something stressful, something emotional. Maybe you're at an event. Maybe it's the end of a diet if you've done, maybe this is like a 30-day something, a 75-day challenge, something that has a set start and stop, where you have been following this strict set of rules and cutting out things in your life for a period of time. There's some kind of trigger. And then you go into eating. If it's stress or if it's emotional, then this may be an overeating or a binge for some people. It may be, you go back into the things that you cut out. Those are the things that you go to eat. If it was a challenge that you stopped, you're like, oh yes, this is done. I cut out Oreos for 75 days, and now all I want to eat is Oreos. I'm going to celebrate the end of this with eating a whole bunch of things, right? Now you feel guilt and you feel shame and you feel like crap and you're like, oh my God, I messed up, all of these things. And then you seek comfort and control. And so that can be various things. It may be continuing to eat. It may be, oh my God, I can't stop, where you're feeling like you're out of control. However, it can be any kind of potential coping mechanism that doesn't necessarily serve you, but gives you some temporary comfort right there. Or you're going to go directly back into like restricting, because that also is a way to control. And it's a way to seek comfort in what may feel familiar and like the best thing for you. This may be going back into, okay, well, I need to cut all these foods back out of my diet because I can't control myself around them and they make me feel like crap. It may be, oh, I have to do that challenge again. I have to do that diet again, because when I go off of it, then I go balls to the wall and I can't control myself and I feel like crap and I gain the weight back and all of these things, okay? So going back, and it's just a pattern that repeats itself over and over and over again until you can break it. And hopefully you can break it. This is what we're here for, right? Another pattern here is called the what the hell effect. So where this starts is you give into temptation in relation to, let's say, like, maybe it's a food, maybe it's a drink. You're like, oh, okay, you know what? I'll have the cookie. Someone else says to you, like, hey, just have a drink, just one, it's totally fine, or have this piece of cake, whatever. All right, I'm gonna have it. Like that is really tempting. It's really delicious. Or you skip your walk in the morning. You skip a habit. You're like, I'm just gonna relax today. I'm just not gonna do that, whatever. And then you go into, well, what the hell? I already gave in, so I might as well not do anything else, right? I blew it already, so I might as well just go all out. I had one cookie. F it. I'm going to have 17 cookies. I didn't go on my morning walk when I was supposed to, so F it. The whole day is ruined, and I guess I'm just going to lay on the couch and not move the rest of the day. Going into the other end of the spectrum. And then inevitably you're going to feel shame. You're going to feel guilt. You're going to feel like crap. Oh my God, why did I eat 18 cookies? Why didn't I go to the gym when I said I was going to? All those things. You feel all kinds of terrible, terrible things. And then you seek comfort and control again. You go into the other ends of the spectrum. This can often be, again, like here. And then it's going to happen again, all right? Again. A repeated cycle, unless you choose to break it. So, all or nothing. This is also something that we've talked about already. It's something that you're working on changing. It's something that you're aware of, you struggle with or have struggled with. When does this happen for you? You can pause the video after this and take some notes. How can you break the cycle? When you look at these cycles that I brought up, the examples that I brought up, are any of them resonating with you? At what point could you break that cycle and change the direction? Instead of it going round and round, maybe you veer off. Where else could it go? How can that happen? Okay. Your social circle. The people that you have around you are your life. Think about the main people you surround yourself with. How do they impact you in your life? Think about the people that you're closest with, the people that you hang out with every day, the people that you're around even every day, at work, at the gym, your friends, your family. How do they impact you and your life? Do you have coworkers that don't support your nutrition? You feel like that's part of the reason why you self-sabotage? Is it someone in your house, one of your partners, or your family members? Do you have really solid support systems? Do you have a coach? Do you have people that are like-minded and working on the same things and don't have an opinion that is skewing you? Do the people around that you surround yourself with align with the person that you want to be? If you're someone that is wanting to work on having a healthier lifestyle, getting into the gym more regularly, moving your body, waking up early in the morning, feeling less stressed and feeling good, eating nutrient-dense foods most of the time, are the people all around you people that go out every single night of the weekend and drink heavily? Do they go to the gym? Do they support you wanting to better yourself? Or are the people that you surround yourself with also working to be their best selves? Do they prioritize their workouts? Do they invite you over for a nutrient-dense meal? Do you meal prep together? All of these things. The people in your life will affect you. Research proves it. You can probably look at your life and see the truth in there as well, in one way or the other. It also does not mean that you can't change. If there's people in your life that maybe are negatively impacting you, or they aren't aligning with the person that you want to be, but they're people in your life that you can't get rid of, so to speak. It doesn't mean that you can't change. You can still stick to your goals. You can stick to the systems that support you. You can stick to the things that make you feel good. You can always move towards your desires. You can always actively be creating the life that you want, the version of yourself that you want. Just knowing that the people around you will impact you. We talked about this early on with nutrition isn't as easy as just a scientific equation. We don't live in a vacuum. We don't exist in a bubble. There's a lot of psychological aspects that influence nutrition. There's a lot of social aspects that influence nutrition. This is a part of that. However, it doesn't mean that you can't change if there's people there that don't positively support you. And there's always more people that you can gain that do positively support you. So continue to do the things that support you, and that's what will really, really matter here. Okay. So, big questions to ask and things to come back to. How do you engage in acts of self-sabotage? think about it. Is it when you go on vacation? Is it on the weekends? What happens there? What are the self-sabotaging things that happen? When do you get in your own way? Where are you? Where does this happen in your life? Are you with certain people when this happens? And why does this happen? That why is a big, big thing, because if we don't uncover the why, then we haven't uncovered the root, okay? We can't really make changes. We can't, if we're thinking about pulling out weeds, the weed will continue to grow if the root is still there, right? So we need to get to the bottom of things in order to really make the changes happen. So why are these things happening? Oh, I'm just trying to control the future, trying to stay safe, right? Think about those questions and why the self-sabotage is happening. Does it make you feel better in the moment? Are you not fully committed? And this may be something that, you know what, like the goal might not be the true goal for you. Maybe the goal that you've indicated is wanting to lose weight, and we've talked about alignment. Maybe that's actually not the goal. Maybe the goal needs to change and all the systems stay the same. And then you can be more fully committed to it. So like the goal is to lose weight. Maybe, you know what? The goal is that I want to improve my body composition. That is part of it. I also want to feel healthy. I want to enjoy my life. So thinking about alignment, do you need support? Because guess what? It's really hard, as you've learned, it's really hard to do things totally by yourself. So do you just need some more support in your life? Maybe from your partner, your spouse, your family members, the people that are around you. Do you need someone in your corner like a coach? I will tell you that those things make a really big difference. Do you not believe in yourself? It's a big question, and I get it. It sucks to sometimes face the answer of that. However, if you don't believe in yourself, if you don't believe that you can make the changes, if you don't believe that you can actually accomplish the things that you want to accomplish, you will continue to self-sabotage because you truly do not believe that you can do it or that you deserve it. And so you will continue to self-sabotage because that's your way of proving to yourself that you're right. So put these questions to thought, write them down. Think about all the ways that have come up for you, and then as you continue forward in your journey, think about the things that continue to come up and explore them. Get curious. Break these things down. If you find yourself in self-sabotage, just pause. Ask yourself, what's true? Is that even helpful? Is it kind? When you're in self-sabotage, you're going to have thoughts that come up that want to lead you towards behaviors that go into that pattern, that create the comfort, that create the control. So ask yourself, a lot of the thoughts, you know what, they aren't actually even true. Or what else is true? Is that helpful for me in going where I want to go? Likely no. Is it kind? Likely no. Ask yourself, if I move forward in this specific way, then what will happen? If you ate a cookie and your thoughts come up as like, well, now you've failed, you've ruined it, yada, 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 all the other really mean things. You know what? Is that true? Have I failed? No, that's not true. What else is true? I can eat a cookie and still stay aligned with my goals. You ate a cookie, so you failed and you messed everything up. Is that helpful? No. you've ate a cookie and you messed everything up, so you should just like go eat 17 more. Is that helpful? No. Is that kind? No, you're gonna feel like crap. If I eat 17 more cookies, then I'm going to feel like crap. It's truly not going to help me move forward in the ways that I want to go. But if I eat one cookie and I decide that, you know what, I can still make progress here, and that one cookie wasn't a bad thing, I'm going to go for a walk and clear my head. Then what's possible? So put all of these things into work. Keep this video in your back pocket, so to speak. Continue to explore, continue to get curious, continue to be aware, because that awareness is key, right? If you're not aware, then you don't know what to change. The problems you think you have are usually just a lack of awareness. So create awareness. That's going to give you a lot of direction. Keep questioning, keep turning on, and see what pops up for you and what cycles you can start changing, disrupting, breaking in order to create a better, more helpful route forward for you.